Hey guys, what is going on, everybody? Street Trading here with not just another trade lesson video. This is our biggest trade of our careers. Trade lesson. Biggest trade of our careers. This was a beast of a trade, and still flying high on it. So we're going to talk some details here. Looking at a 15-minute chart of, actually no, we're looking at a 10-minute chart. Let's switch that up real quick. This is the 15-minute chart of NVAX, NVAX, healthcare sector. Let's get right into it. So guys, straight up parabolic move to the upside. Boys wanted in, and they didn't give a shit what price they got. So we went into this week's session with very specific rules. We only were focusing on securities based off of our weekly trade watch list. Granted, this was just Monday's session, so we didn't really have anything else to look for. We didn't even look at pre-market. Well, we did, but we only looked at pre-market of our particular watch list. We had clear levels set. We had clear targets. We had clear risk parameters. We had clear entries. And clear rules in why we were going to get involved into something if it gave us what we planned for, what we needed, what we wanted to see. NVAX was setting up on a technical standpoint and ticked all of our boxes as to what we needed to see. One thing that will give you a nugget here, right before we get into our members video. Whenever you see a security trading against the trend, right? Market's bleeding out, and a security pushes highs, right? They're trading against the flow. They're going against the grain. They're going against the market, overall market sentiment. They're going against what's really going on overall. When you see that happening, there's a reason behind that. It's like magic, magician, right? The art of what? Misdirection. The market was bleeding out. Everybody was in fear mode. But there were plenty of boys building in to this position in NVX. There's other ones that we had on our weekly watches as well that did the same thing. Not nearly as good, but very solid. NVAX was the only one we traded. It was the only one we needed to trade, and we'll talk about more of that in a second. But one thing you definitely need to take note of, understand, and spotlight when you see a security trading against the market trend, whether it's to the upside or to the downside. There's a very high probability, and that it completely is ignoring the overall benchmark. There's a very high probability it's going to continue in that trend in a significant way in that session. And this was a perfect example of that. All right? Going against the current. It's like a fish swimming upstream. Sam's swimming upstream, right? Going against the current. It's not easy. These guys went against the current. And look what happened. All right. Swallowed two of our targets that we had no idea was going to get breached in one session. This was a weekly target. Both got taken. And we swallowed them both. It was a monster trade. We waited for our entry patiently because we had rules, very specific rules set. Scaled in, scaled out, scaled back in, scaled back out. It was the best trade of our career. when you have a big trade, you have to understand, don't get, too high on yourself, because a lot of times after a monster trade comes a pretty big loss. So we are bringing it down. We're downshifting here. Not going to say we're not going to trade this week, but any risk we're going to put on is going to be minimal. For that reason, we're going to just bring ourselves down a little bit, right? Meaning, don't get overly confident. Stick with the rules again. Don't deviate. Stay the course, right? We're human just like everybody else. We're very, very excited, happy, and proud of what we accomplished yesterday. But you can't be overly confident, because that's when you make mistakes. Stay in that zone. Continue to stay in that flow. But check yourself. Always check yourself. That's what we do. All right? That's why we stay in the game for so many years. Let's get into it, guys. Let's get into the plan. Let's get in. As you guys know, I mean, you know the plan going into this week's session. All of our members here, got our plan. But let's go into more detail. How we got into it, why we got into it. Most of you know why we did. But anyway, let's get into the details of this monster trade. Best trade of our career. All right, let's get into it.